Hey English 12, it's Miss Sopiarz-Rianda, and I realized that I haven't shown my face to you in a couple of weeks. So I just wanted to remind you that I am real. I am here. There's someone who is behind all of the messages and emails and grading all your work. So just wanted to touch base with you this week as we are moving into our very next session of Writing Like a Researcher. I hope you enjoyed your long 4-day weekend. Remember, last week, Friday was off. This week, Monday is off. I will make this session available to you early, but the first day back is on Tuesday, which is the 17th. And so staff and students, they do have the day off. So if you did message me or email me frantically over the 4-day weekend, I will return all messages starting on Tuesday. But again, I hope you guys had a really nice 4-day week. So let's get started here. And if you are thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, where did Unit 5 go? It's right there, completed units. It is closed, but it is still there, so you can always go back to it. I will be giving you an opportunity to submit late work for less credit, again later in the semester, but for right now it is closed. We're focusing on session 3 this week, and it is due by Sunday the 22nd before midnight. And the workload does reflect that we did have a day off, so I don't expect you to do everything. It's not jam-packed because you did officially have a day off, and so did I. So this week we're focusing on trends and patterns and sources, and then you'll be making claims and conclusions from your research. So like always, start on the session plan and watch this lovely video, because along with the lovely video that will be here, there is also some important announcements this week. This was in the information last week as well, but I also just wanted to remind you this week that there are parent-teacher conferences this week. Last week was your 6-week grade, so you should be getting, if you haven't already, received your grades from the first 6 weeks of school. And if you'd like to talk about it, if your parents like to talk about it, and you get extra credit if you do come, I am hosting virtual on Tuesday from 6 to 8 by just clicking that link right there. And I'll also be face-to-face at Glennon Heights Elementary School from 6 to 8, actually. It should be 8, not 8:30. So please come in and check in. I'd love to chat with you. Down here is the suggested schedule for the week, as well as all the assignments for the week. So be sure to use this suggested schedule. It will help you organize your time. I know many of you try to cram everything into like 1 or 2 days, but that does get old and it can be pretty overwhelming and frustrating. Okay, so in this session, we're going to be looking at trends in your research, and you're going to start drawing some conclusions about all the great research you've been doing. You're going to begin to answer the question, why is this person influential in our world? We're also going to be creating the first draft of our works cited page in this session. And here are some essential questions that are going to be guiding our work this week. Click next, as always. And here you're going to start looking at trends and patterns in your sources. You know quite a bit about your topic, and you should be starting to notice some patterns and trends in the information that you find. So usually when you find a trend in several different places, it means that the information is reliable and accurate and the source is a good one. You probably have already noticed some things that are conflicting as well. So be sure to look at your notes and try to identify 3 different trends or patterns that you've noticed in your research. They should be ideas or opinions that were confirmed in more than one place. Then also identify one piece of conflicting information. This is something that's kind of just random and obscure and you only found it in one place. And this is something where the source they don't agree with each other and you're not quite sure that it's true. So be sure to look in your notes and in your sources for trends and patterns that you're noticing, because you're going to be making claims and drawing conclusions next in your research. So at this point in the research process, you probably have some really awesome notes. well, you do actually, because I've been grading them. So information isn't all that helpful if you can't organize it and draw some conclusions. And that's what we're going to be doing. Just like we did in the generalizations that we made in the MLK unit in Unit 5, we're going to be doing the same thing in Unit 6. So again, we first did it in Unit 2, and now you're going to be doing it again in Unit 6. And if you need a refresher on how to draw conclusions, click there to go back to Unit 5 to help out there. So for this assignment, your job is to create 4 major conclusions or generalizations about about your research so far. And then you need to show how they are supported by evidence that you found. Okay, so your conclusions and evidence should be presented in a clear graphic organizer, like this one right over here. Here's an example of what that could look like. And each chart, so you should have 4 charts because you're going to be having 4 conclusions. Okay, so each conclusion should have at least 3 pieces of evidence from your research. Now, you can use a couple of different tools. You can use Google Drawing. You can use Bubble Us. And there are some videos here to help you down here with both of these tools. So some of your conclusions might be very similar to the patterns you saw on the previous page, and that's completely okay. The difference is now that you are narrowing them down to a conclusion and you're identifying specific evidence that supports them. Okay, so that's really the difference now. You're actually supporting your conclusions with evidence. Okay? And then you're going to submit your 4 conclusions and all your supporting evidence here on this next page. Now, you can include it all in 4 separate files. That's fine. You can include it all on one file. That's completely fine too. Either way, just be sure you submit your 4 conclusions with the supporting evidence. So now that most of your research is complete, it's time to get to work on your Works Cited page. And remember that a high quality research paper has sources cited in 2 places, two places. This is what I expect in your research paper. So you should have your work cited in the body of your paper using parenthetical citations, and at the end in a Works Cited page using MLA formatting. So again, 2 places, in the body and at the end in the Works Cited page. Okay? So here's an example of what a Works Cited page should look like, and here are the written directions of how to do that. There's also, you can use these tools, EasyBib, to create your citations. It's completely okay to use EasyBib. It's actually, I would recommend it actually. So be sure to use that format and to follow the directions here. And here's again that example and some videos on how to help you with EasyBib on the website. Okay, so this is worth 40 points, and this is just a rough draft of your Works Cited page, and you should have at least 5 sources, your 3 secondary sources and your 2 primary sources that you've been accumulating these past 3 sessions. Okay, and submit it here on the next page. And after that, be sure to review our session checklist. If you can answer yes to all these questions, you are on your way. You can start the next session once it's made available. If you answer no to any of these questions, go back in this session and review that information. And if you don't understand something, please contact me. I'm happy to help. And then that's it. You are done with the session. Next week, we're going to begin actually writing your first draft. All the research you've been doing these past 3 weeks, now you're actually going to be creating a survey about your research topic and sharing it with your friends and family. So it's all coming to a head now. We're actually going to start the writing process. All these past 3 sessions, we've been doing the research process. Now it's time to start writing. If you have any questions, let me know.